My name's Cohen Walker.
Troy Cook.
Jacob Kaufman.
Okay, this is Otto-Eldred here at D9 Media Day. Guys, welcome.
Thanks.
So let's get right into it. As you're going into this season, Coach, what position group are you most confident in heading into the season?
Definitely most confident in offensive and defensive lines. Got a lot of returning starters and a lot of experience coming back in those two groups.
And then, guys, conversely, what position group maybe are you most concerned with, lack of experience or things of that nature?
Definitely have some young guys coming in the speed groups, backs and receivers, but definitely a lot of talent coming in too. So just see how fast they can get up to speed and catch up with the older guys.
And then how do you guys, both as players and coach, how are you going to define success this year?
I think success basically for us is the guys just kind of talked about it, growing as a team and kind of just progressing and learning as we move throughout the season.
And guys?
Like he said, we have to become stronger as one and not fight with each other.
And then who do you guys think has made the biggest gains during the offseason, either, individual in the weight room or, position group collectively?
Why don't you guys take that one? What do you think?
Probably individuals in the weight room.
Yeah, like the kids that wake up early, go to the weight room, work hard, and get stronger. Like those kids.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of gains from our freshman group that's coming in this year. They've put a lot of hours into the weight room, so it looks good for the future.
Who do you guys think is the most significant player you're going to have to replace from last year, and then how do you plan on replacing them?
Well, our quarterback, Cole Sebastian, we have two younger kids practicing there, but one's not as fast and one is somewhat as fast. So we have to work on our O-line, have more protection, and be stronger there.
So we have obviously we lost some good number of backs and receivers that moved on and had a lot of production for us. So those young guys, like we talked about earlier, need to kind of really step up and come into that. And like Jacob said, we had some guys that look good so far through the summer. So looking for some big things from them coming up.
And do you think it's harder from one season to the next to have to replace more skill guys and maintain your guys in the trenches, or is it harder to replace some of those linemen from year to year, do you think?
It seems like we were joking about it on the way down, just because of the size of the school. Like it seems like we're always replacing one group or the other. Like we never get a good mix, So just so happens that this is their year in the rotation where we're replacing a lot of the backs and receivers. A lot of those guys play on instinct, right? Mm-hmm. So with the linemen, it's a lot of technique to be involved. So hopefully, in that vein, it's going to be a little bit easier to replace some of those guys because they are a little bit more instinctive and not as technique heavy.
And then to try to lean on that O-line going in this year, what are you guys looking for them to be able to do up front?
To keep on the blocks and stay strong up there and not let them get by as easily.
Just protect the quarterback and open gaps up to run and stuff.
And so, breaking in a lot of the skill guys offensively, how much emphasis does that put on you defensively to, try to keep those other teams from scoring as you're breaking those guys in?
Yeah. Defensively, we have a good core group coming back, led by these guys up on the defensive line, and we return a lot of guys in the defensive backfield. So it's going to be really up to these guys to kind of protect everything and protect the linebackers, because that's going to be a pretty young group for us. So until they get up to speed, they're going to need to keep the offensive line from the other team off them a little bit.
And as you go into kind of this transition year for your skill guys, what benefits have you seen from getting back to maybe more of a normal off-season schedule as opposed to, the way things were last year during COVID?
It's definitely helped. For your last year, we couldn't really do any summer workouts, anything like that. Couldn't really get together much in the spring either. So it was just nice to, we don't do a lot in the spring because obviously there's a lot of things going on, but just get together once in a while to, see faces and see who's making some gains. But being able to get together at least once a week this summer to kind of, you can't do a lot, but at least you get the guys moving. You can do some basic things, but it's definitely helped a lot over last year.
And from a player's perspective, how important are those team kind of, workouts and things like that as you're going through the off season?
It's important because we have to, if we don't do them, then we won't become stronger. Then we'll be weaker as one.
And then again, speaking of schedules, you kind of get back on a normal week-to-week schedule this year. Also, how beneficial is that going to be? For you guys knowing, okay, this is primarily who we're going to play this week, and there maybe aren't as many questions. Are we going to get this game in or not?
Sure. Yeah, last year was tough just because you had a schedule. It was a shortened schedule, but even though you had a schedule, you weren't sure if you were going to play the game that week. We had a game scheduled and canceled last season the day of the game, just within a few hours of the game. So everything just seemed like it was always up in the air. This year, hopefully, things are back to normal. You got a schedule, you can plan accordingly each week. So hopefully, things run a lot more smoothly this year.
And then looking at your schedule, what's maybe one or two teams on your schedule you look at, man, that's going to be a tough challenge for us?
Just looking at the initial schedule, I think Red Bank Valley probably is going to be probably the toughest game we have as far as the whole schedule. And then our division, probably Smethport and Coudersport are always teams that we look at to be pretty tough games.
So traditional powers in your division, if we were to say that.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, guys, anything else that you are looking forward to as we head into the season?
Getting back on the field and having that feeling of being there one more time.
Just build chemistry with the team and getting back out there and playing.
Maybe having some fans in the stands and
Yeah.
things of that nature
Definitely.
too. Okay. All right, guys from Otto-Eldred, thanks so much for stopping by, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.